Hello friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to the Can't Sleep Creations Outdoor Living DIY Outdoor Decor collaboration that is hosted by my good friends Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling and Monica from Up All Night DIY, and I am so honored to be the guest host this time. I'm going to be doing two different bee wreaths. I want to show you this bee wreath here because I made this a couple years ago. I'm going to be taking some of the elements in here and redoing it differently, but I'm also going to be making some new pieces for it. So here are some little styrofoam balls that I made for that previous wreath. You can get these balls either at the Dollar Tree or even Walmart. I also got some rickrack is what I used on here. I just painted the balls yellow and some black and hot glued on the rickrack. So what I'm going to be doing this time, I'm going to be doing 6 balls. I'm going to be painting 3 of them black and 3 of them with the daffodil yellow. First, I wanted to get some stems on them so I can stick them into the wreath. And this is just some of the fabric floral stem. And sometimes when you cut it with your wire cutters, that fabric gets frayed a little bit, so you do have to cut them with your scissors. So I'm going to get all 6 of these cut. I'm going to stick them into the balls, and this will help me hold them while I paint. So I'm going to go ahead and get 3 of them painted up with the daffodil yellow. And sometimes you have to do 2 coats on here. All right, so I'm gonna get all these painted up, and while those are drying, I don't even know what these are, but I like them. I've used them before. I've painted them green and put them in my wreath for like my yellow roses, and I use it for lemons. This time I'm going to be painting them with the yellow and the black. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all these pieces in my wreath, but I'm just going to go ahead and get 6 of them painted up. And it's probably going to take 2 coats of the yellow. I think the black I can get away with 1 coat. All right, so this is what I'm doing with the styrofoam balls. I'm just taking some white paint and some black paint, and I made little dots. I'm just using the end of one of my stencil brushes, dipping it into the paint. And sometimes they don't look perfectly round, but that's okay. So you just randomly want to put your dots on. This one's going to get yellow dots and the white dots. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these finished up, and then we're going to be ready to assemble the wreath. So what I'm using is my oval grapevine wreath, and here are some of these little pieces of a fern that was in the previous wreath. I think I only had 4 in that, but I'm adding 6. I may add some more later on, but right now I'm just going to use 6 of them. Just going to kind of stick them in here. I don't like to hot glue. This is a wreath that I got many years ago from the Goodwill, and it's got tons of hot glue on it already because it had some ugly flowers on it that I didn't like, and they'd hot glued it. But I just like to stick my flower pieces in here, and these were also from the previous wreath. So you can redo this for the seasons if you want to. So I have 5 of these, and I'm just going to be randomly placing them on each side. There's 5 on each side. And I have these cute little white flowers. I didn't use these in the previous wreath, but I thought these would be nice in here. I just used white pit berries in the other one, but I want to add some more flowers, and I need some white in here. I have to cut that one off just a little bit, just a tad bit too long. It gets stuck back in there. And the last piece, all right. Get fluffed up a little bit. Now I'm going to be adding the old styrofoam balls in here. I'm just going to add 2 of each color. I'm just trying to figure out which pieces I want to use where. Okay. Now I want to add some more of my styrofoam balls that I just made, and I have some yellow and white daisies that I'm going to add in here. I'm going to add one big yellow daisy over here and then a bunch of 3 little white ones. Going to add a black polka dot styrofoam ball and then one of the yellow ones too. Let's kind of fluff it up. Okay. Then I'm going to repeat it on the other side. Okay, I'm going to leave that section blank, but I'm going to be putting a bow down here. But I got to add those other pieces that I did. So here's these. I think I'm just going to use 4 pieces. I'm going to use one at the top on each side and then at the bottom. So I can get this one in there. And I think I'm going to pick a different one than that. Let's go ahead and see which one I want to do. Okay. I'm going to do a lot of adjusting here. All right, now I'm going to do the bow. So here are some strands that were from my previous bow, and I'm not going to use that black and yellow striped one. I decided to use my black and white harlequin instead. And I am just crossing these over, just folding them in half and doing them the opposite way. Just going to make a little messy bow here. And I didn't measure these. I can't remember. I think these are a foot long. Maybe a little bit more. So I'm just alternating each design and the sides. I'm just going to take a black chenille stem that was on the other bow and tie it all up. I'm just going to fluff the bow up. Got to do a little tweaking with these bows. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put it down here. And of course, my stem is not long enough to go around the whole thing, but I actually had this other chenille stem on the old bow, so I'm just going to attach it to one side here and then get it all wired on. I may add something to the bow, and I think I'm going to add some more of those ferns, but let's see how it turned out, because this is going to be hanging on my front door. All right, here it is. I did add one more piece of the fern on each side, and I added some of those daisies in the middle. I think this is so pretty. This is going to hang on my door for quite a while, probably all the way till fall. All right, let's get started on the other wreath. Now, this is just one of those heart forms that you get from the Dollar Tree, and this is some of the foam board that I had a piece left of. And what I'm doing, I want to get this done first before I start on the wreath, because I'm just going to trace this out, because I'm going to use this in the middle of the wreath instead of keeping it open. And I'm going to use my X-Acto knife just to cut it out. You can use scissors. You just want to be careful when you're using this so you don't cut your fingers. And right now I'm not pressing super hard down. I may have to go over a few more spots to get this to pop out. Let's pop it out. Looks like I have a few more spots that I need to cut a little bit more here. Here we go. All All right, so I'm just going to set this aside and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that later. The first thing I'm using is some of that nautical rope, and did you know that they do not have this nautical rope in the stores anymore? I have to tell you, I only had 2 full strands of this, and 1 partial was almost a full strand. And the way I was doing this, I'm just tacking this down right now. I'm going to tack it in a few spots. I'm just going to be wrapping it into this inner ring right here, wrapping it around. And I wanted to do this all the way. Now, I've seen some of these on Pinterest where they do it a little bit different on the rounded part, but I wanted to keep it all solid. And I just needed 1 more strand, and not even the whole strand to do it. I went to 4 different Dollar Trees yesterday, and nobody had any of the nautical rope, not even the off-white one either, just the jute. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I looked online, and it looks like they're not available in stores anymore. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if they're available in your area, but here in Colorado, around me, the 4 stores that were the closest to me did not have any of it. So I was very disappointed that they don't have this stuff anymore. So like I said, I'm showing you, I'm just doing this solid here. Every once in a while I have to tack it down. But now I can just keep going with this around. And I'm going to get most of this finished, and I will show you the different technique that I had to do to make sure that I had enough of this nautical rope to use. All right, so here it is. I wanted it solid up there just like that, but as you can see, I have to do it differently. So you're just going to wrap around just a little piece right here at the top, just like so. And then the next one, you go around both of them. So you're just going to go around the top one and then go around both of them. Just keep repeating that until you get to the center. All right, I'm going to get that finished, and we will get on to the next part. So what I'm using is I'm taking about 8 inches of this ribbon. I like this. This is a yellow and white check with the black polka dots. And I ducktailed them, and I'm just going to pinch them together and hot glue them in between the rope here. And this is on the back side. Just kind of twist it a little bit. You want to poke it in there, just like so. Okay, you just want to keep repeating this. And I think I ended up doing about 50 of these because I wanted mine really full. You don't have to do it as full as I did it, but I wanted it pretty full. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get all of these done. It does take just a little while to do this. I did this whole wreath in 1 day, so it's not too bad. Go ahead and finish the rest of this. Go ahead and speed this up a little bit here. You can see it looks really pretty just having it like this. And I'm also going to be gluing some more ribbon to that outer edge. And I want to do 2 different ribbons on this. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this finished. Okay, see how pretty that looks? Just like that. So here are the 2 that I'm using, and unfortunately these are not a double-sided ribbon, so I'm just going to fold them over like so, trying to get this figured out, how I want to do this, because I want to kind of spread them out a little bit like this, but it doesn't show the pattern, as you can tell. So I'm going to have to figure out something to get it to fold over a little bit so you can see the other side too, because I'm not really liking it looking like that. Let me see if I can figure out what to do with that. All right, I have it all done now. So what I did was I've just folded some of these over and just put a little bit of hot glue. So then you can see it almost the correct way that I want to have it done. I'm also going to fluff these a little bit, kind of bend them down because this is wired ribbon. It's going to kind of scrunch it in a few spots. I think that will look really nice. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing. I printed off this Welcome to Our Hive off of Creative Fabrica, and I'm going to be Mod Podging this on to the heart. Let's see where I want to place it here. Okay, so let's get the Mod Podge, get a bunch of that on there. We gotta make sure we have lots of Mod Podge. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this placed on here where I want it. Smooth it out. And there are a few wrinkles here. So I'm just taking another piece of copy paper and my little iron and getting those wrinkles out. Okay. I'm going to flip it over, take my X-Acto knife and cut off the excess. All right. And it does look like a few more wrinkles need to come out, so take care of that. The next thing I'm going to do is take the daffodil yellow. I'm going to be dipping the end of my stencil brush into it, and I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of dots around here. I'm also going to be adding some black dots to it. I think this just makes it a little bit cuter by adding these dots. I'm going to get these done, and it's going to have to dry for a little bit, and then we're going to attach it to the wreath. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue here in a few sections on the back side of the wreath and stick the heart on. There we go. Just glue it just a little bit, hold it down, perfect. There, that is so cute. You can leave it just like that, but I'm going to add some of these little bees. I have these bees on these picks. I'm just going to cut it off, take the wire off. I'm going to hot glue one right here, and I think one right there. Okay. All right, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to take the daisy ribbon and the polka dot ribbon, twist them together here with a piece of wire. I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to hot glue it over here on the top left side, like so. And I want to add a daisy in there too, and a little bit of greenery. Let's get everything glued down. With the greenery pieces. And I think I'm going to use the smaller daisy. And I also have a little piece of a leaf that I want to put in here too. Add a little bit more green. Put it right there. And then put the daisy in the middle. All right, there we go. I think this is so cute. I love it. But I need to have something to attach it on my wreath holder with. So I'm gonna have to put something back here. So I have this yellow Chanel stem. I'm just going to loop through here, make a big loop, and then I'm just going to twist it a few times, I'm going to cut off the excess here. And I'm just going to take a bunch of hot glue and hot glue that down. Okay. Now that it's dry, you can see where I have that. It's going to hold. Perfect. Got to fluff a few pieces out here. Because while I was working on it, everything got kind of messed up. Some of the ribbons kind of messed up there, but I think it looks so cute. Let's put it on the door. Here's how it looks on my door. All right, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please be sure to check out everybody else's videos. I have the playlist link down below in my description box. I also have Dawn and Monica's channel links down there also for you to check out. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.